How can you make sure that 2025 is the best year ever for your small business? I can tell you this, it's not going to happen by writing down some goals and coming up with your little to-do list. It's only going to happen if you follow a proven system that will guarantee your results. On this episode of Marketing Domination, we're going to show you the framework that you need to make sure that 2025 is the best year ever for your small business. Welcome to Marketing Domination. So as we approach the end of 2024, don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to go ahead and plan out our 2025 for all of the different companies that my wife and I own. And as I'm doing that, I realize the way that we do it is probably different than how I see most small business owners do it, and thus why they're not actually hitting the results and reaching the goals that they actually have for their small business. So what I want to do on this episode is I want to share with you a framework that was shared to me by one of my mentors, Don Miller, and it is going to make sure that if you follow this system, you actually hit the goals you have for your business in 2025. One thing overall that I've learned with just entrepreneurship and owning businesses is whenever I first started owning my own businesses, 15 plus years ago, a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about today, I didn't care about. It was like, mission statements, like core values, like goals, like that doesn't really matter. Like I'm just trying to pay my bills. And maybe that's how you feel right now is you're just like, man, I'm just trying to scrape by. I'm just worried about, is my business going to make it over the next several months? Well, I will tell you, after owning, my wife and I own 5 different companies. And as they reach that 7-8 figure limit, you're going to want to, if you ever even want to come close to touching those levels, you want to make sure that you have these things in place. Because if not, you will be doing what we are having to do with some of our businesses, and it's go back and put these things in place. You get to a point to where if you don't do this stuff, you're just going to have to come back and redo a lot of things in your business. And the bigger our businesses get, the more companies we open, the more I realize how important these things actually are. And so what we're going to do today is going to show you a framework about creating something that's called your guiding principles. Because if you don't have these, you're going to start finding out probably how you might be feeling now if you don't have this. You're very reactive in your business. You have goals or to-do lists, but nothing ever actually seems to be driving and moving the business forward. You're busy doing tasks, but they're nothing that's actually contributing to the bottom line of your company. But by following this framework of guiding principles, you will make sure not only you stay on target, but you're able to get your team motivated and drive them to helping you grow this business that you are called to build. So the first thing to realize is understanding what is part of your guiding principles. Of guiding principles consist of 3 different things. Number 1 is your mission statement. 2 is your key characteristics. And then 3 is the critical actions that you have to take. So with each one of these things, I'm going to go over to them, break them down for you guys. I'm also going to share what we do in our businesses as well, so you kind of get some ideas with this stuff. Because I know with a lot of this stuff, please don't tune this episode out. This can be one of those things where it's like sounds too ethereal and like doesn't really matter. Like I need sales today, but trust me, if you put these things in place, it will generate sales. Maybe not today, but it will put the things in process that you need if it's done right to actually get results. So the first thing is with these guiding principles is your mission statement. If your business doesn't have a mission, it's just going to be out there aimlessly firing off, doing things, being proactive, probably feeling busy, but not getting anything actually accomplished. The biggest mistake I see with businesses whenever they create their mission statement is they make it for their customers. We're not trying to create a mission statement for our customers. We're creating the mission statement so us and our team know what the mission is and they have an end goal to shoot for. The mission statement is not something that you're going to be putting out in, on your website, like for customer facing stuff. If anything, the mission statement would be used on your employment or recruitment page to show the type of people that you're looking that want to join the mission that your business is on. That's one thing that I think people do is they try to make it a mission statement about their customers. Your customers, they've got their own mission, right? We're supposed to be we're supposed to be the guides to help them finish their mission with whatever business service that you guys are actually in. So that's one mistake. The second thing that I see them do is whenever they're creating these mission statements is they make it too ethereal. It's not concrete. It's not specific. Being a story brand guide, we love clear, direct messaging, and your mission statement should be that. It should be clear and direct. So I want to share with you a framework within a framework and show you what I think makes a really good mission statement. So here's the formula. We will do X by Y because of Z. And I'm going to break down each one of these parts. So the first part of your mission statement, I believe, should include 3 economic priorities or objectives. Your business exists to make money. Even if it's a nonprofit, if you are not bringing in donors and bringing in revenue, the business will not exist. And so we need to make sure that we are on the mission of making money. Now, it's not all about money. I hear people say all the time, well, I just don't care about the money, or especially if your team members are like, well, no, it's not all about just making the business owner money. No, but if you want a job, if you want the business to continue to grow, the business has to make money. So on our mission that we're on, we need to have 3 economic objectives or priorities that we are focusing on as the small business. So us, for example, what we do is we broke these down into 3 different products that we're trying to grow. These could be 3 different revenue numbers, whatever makes sense for your specific business. But you need to have 3 economic priorities and objectives that you're trying to go after. So for example, for our IV therapy clinic, we've got a certain amount of revenue that we want to hit each month. We have a certain amount of memberships that we want to sell. And then we also have another thing that contributes to it a little bit, which is Google reviews, because Google reviews will help increase local SEO, which helps us rank even higher. And so that will get us more business that way. With the marketing agency, the Garner Consulting, which is this right here, we have a certain amount of retainer clients that we want to hit. We have a certain amount of Story Guide funnels, which is our software client subscribers that we want to hit. And then we also have a certain amount of websites or sales funnels that we want to build for our mission statement. Because by having these financial economic objectives in our mission statement, does several things. One, it always points us towards our goal of what we're actually building as a company. If your objective is more broad, like, hey, we just want to make more money, well, we don't know when we've actually hit the objective. We need to have something that we're actually striving for. The other thing that it does is it starts to normalize conversations about finances and revenue with your team. I know a lot of business owners, they try to keep it too hidden with the numbers. And I'm not saying that you should share everything with the staff, but they do need to understand that a business costs money to run. And in order for us to keep paying them and providing jobs for them, we have to have a certain amount of sales in order to do that. Because I know before I was a small business owner, I always assumed that my bosses and that the companies were making a lot more money than they actually were. Now, after owning multiple businesses, you start to see cost and taxes and insurance, all those things, and unemployment and all of the things, payroll taxes, the things. You realize that it takes a lot more sales to make the profit that you actually want for a business owner. So if we start normalizing these conversations with our staff, they start to understand that we're not just doing this so the business owner or so I can make more money. We're doing this because it takes money for me to be able to provide you a job so we can keep doing this. And it gives me opportunities to give you more financial blessings and incentives by being a part of this company and helping it grow. So step 1 of the mission statement is it needs to include those 3 economic objectives. Step 2 is it needs to have a specific deadline. For me, I like to go no further out than 12 months, but I would say never go further out than 24 months on your goals or on the mission statement. So instantly I hear people say, well, that means the mission statement's going to have to change. Yes, your mission statement should constantly be changing and evolving. It should change for two reasons. One, you hit the goal, or two, you miss the goal. If you miss the goal, you need to pivot and figure out what you need to do to go back and hit that goal. Or whenever you do hit the goal, you want to then rechange the mission. Imagine the analogy that Don gives is, imagine the mission statement for a football team being like, we want to win the Super Bowl some year. Like, that doesn't really inspire action or drive the team forward if it just has to happen some year. But if it's, we want to win the Super Bowl in 2026, because a very specific measurable deadline, so you know if you actually hit your target or not. I think with this, a lot of times people are afraid of setting these concrete deadlines because, well, what if I miss it? Like, that's okay. You might miss it. We want to make sure that we're doing everything and the rest of this framework is in place so that we don't miss it. But we want to have a goal. So again, us and our team know what we're striving for, and we have metrics that we can show them how we are comparing against that goal. If it is just like, let's say like the big thing on online is like, man, I want to have a 8-figure business or multi-million-dollar business. Well, if it's just that someday, well, man, what if that's 50 years from now? That's not really going to inspire a lot of action to want to get it done. But if you have a certain revenue that you want to hit within the next 12 months, it's really easy to kind of backdate that and work backwards to make sure that you're on track for that. So we not only need to have those 3 economic objectives, we also want to have a specific deadline of when those things should be accomplished by. The third thing that your mission statement needs to include is that needs to have the why behind it. So this is the part where you say why it's important, and it just can't be about making the business owner money, because that's not going to really inspire a team. It's not like, hey, we are going to get to, $200,000 a month in revenue because your boss wants a bigger paycheck. That's not going to motivate people. What motivates them is the bigger cause of why your company exists. I believe that all small business owners are called to what they are doing, and they should do it with the highest level of excellence possible. And for us, for example, at the agency, our why is we believe that small business owners shouldn't be held back by bad marketing, and that they should be able to compete with these bigger, larger brands that are able to spend tons of money on marketing, and that the business with the best service should be the one that stands out. And so that's why we do what we do. Is we love and we are obsessed with small local business owners, because we want them to be able to compete with these bigger brands by having the good, solid marketing systems and strategies in place that they need. With the IV therapy clinic that we own, our why that we do that and why this business exists is because we believe that a lot of common medical issues and chronic issues that people deal with can be fixed and treated with just routine good wellness. And that's why we have the IV therapy business. So we need to have that why of what we're actually doing. So it's not just about the money, but we need the money to accomplish the why. So again, the recap of the first part of the guiding principles for your mission statement: we will accomplish X by Y because of Z. So we will accomplish, list your 3 economic objectives by whatever deadline is that you set. And again, I recommend going out, anywhere from 6 to 24 months. Don't go any further past that. But I think honestly, 12 months is a good sweet spot, especially coming up here on the new year. You can kind of evaluate that to see how you're doing because of blank. Why is it actually important that you do the work that you do? And it can't just be because you want to make more money. I personally am obsessed with my customers. Like, I think about them. I think about them all the time. That doesn't sound weird. I think about them, their problems, their businesses, how we can help them and everything. And because of that, that's why we do what we do. We are obsessed with small business owners and helping them with their marketing. With the IV therapy clinic, we are obsessed with helping people achieve optimal levels of wellness. With the medical clinics, we are obsessed with helping people to rejuvenate their health. With our Airbnb properties, we are obsessed with our customers having a place where they can unplug and connect back with their loved ones and stuff, and having a place to relax. Like, we're obsessed with our customers. When you're obsessed with your customers and actually serving them and solving their problems, it makes this why part of your mission statement so much easier. So that's the first thing, is we have to have, if we want to hit our goals, for 2025, and we want to have established these guiding principles. The first thing that we need is a mission statement. We need to know exactly what we're shooting for. The second thing that we need key characteristics. So whether you have a large team, a small team, or you are a solopreneur that maybe just uses some contract labor every once in a while, you need to know the key characteristics that are needed to accomplish the mission that you've set out. So with this, we need to know that why we have the key characteristics, because we want to know, one, who do we need to become as the leader and as the business owner? And then two, who does our staff need to become in order to reach this goal? And then three, who do we need on the team? Maybe if you are, whenever you go to look to hire your next employee, if they don't have these key characteristics that you decide are going to be what's needed to push the business forward, well, maybe this isn't the best fit for them. And I would say just go ahead and save yourself the time now. If they don't have the key characteristics that you set up, you shouldn't hire them, because it's going to you're going to cost you a lot more time and money firing the wrong hire. So just take the time to actually hire the right person for you. And when you know your mission, you know the type of people that you need. So the thing with the key characteristics that you want to make sure that you include is that it's very specific towards the mission that you've set. You don't want to have something that's broad or like too general here, like integrity. Like, hopefully everybody that you hire should be people of integrity, or if not, they're probably going to be in prison one day. Like, they should be people of high integrity. That's like something everybody should have. We want it to be more specific to what the role is that they're hiring for. So for example, with one of the key characteristics that we have for the IV therapy clinic is they have to love people and love serving people. They have to be very servant minded with what they do. So when people come in there, we want them to have a relaxing environment. We don't want them to think about anything. We want it to be very stress free. So we want to be thinking about everything that we can do, as far as like getting them a warm blanket, getting them a cup of hot tea, prepping everything so it's a customer service based experience, to where it's not just coming in, it's very medical, it's a relaxing spa environment. So we want to serve people whenever we do that. Some of the key characteristics that we have for the marketing agency is people that take ownership. So our team is very small. So we have a staff of less than 10 people on the agency side. And so because of that, people need to be able to take ownership of their area, of their tasks. If they mess up, they need to take ownership of that. Me as the leader, I need to take ownership of everything and making sure that I'm leading and guiding my team in the right way. They need to be problem solvers. They need to be critical thinkers. You need to be able to not just point out problems, but you need to be able to provide solutions to problems. Those are the kind of people that we're looking for. Technology and tools are always changing, so you have to have a growth mindset. You have to realize that the way you've been doing it, for years doesn't mean it's always the best way. We need to find ways that we can always be improving. You need to have that growth mindset. The fourth thing is that I want people that are clear and direct communicators. If you've been around me, I probably haven't, but with me, I'm a very clear and direct communicator. I don't want to beat around the bush. I want to tell my team exactly what we want to do. And that's why I personally love the story brand framework and love creating these guiding principles like this, because it's clear, it's direct, it's what we need to do. We're not going to beat around the bush. We want to tell people exactly what to do and what's expected of them. So that way there's no, oh, I didn't know, or you never told me that. No, we want to be clear and direct communicators. Also, whenever with our agency, we move very, very quickly, and we work with a lot of clients. And so if somebody is blocking somebody else, they need to be clear and direct and tell them exactly what the issue is so we can remove the blockers. And then the last thing is we want to do everything with excellence. So as a Christian, I believe we do all things as unto the Lord. And so like, this work is my worship. It is my calling. And so I want to make sure that we do everything with a very high level of excellence and that we just don't check boxes. So second part of your guiding principles, number one is you have your mission statement. Number two is you need to have the the key characteristics of the people that you need you need to become in order to accomplish that mission. Now, the third and final thing that we need to make sure that we're actually going to hit our goals and attack this mission that we've set out is we need the critical actions. So what are the daily things we must do by the types of people that we need in order to hit our goals and our mission? So with this shouldn't be something that are big goals or individual to-do list items. These are repeatable things that you can do every single day to make sure that we're moving the mission forward. So for example, like with our IV therapy business, some of the critical actions that we have that the staff has to do every single day is one is they send follow-up messages to all of the patients from the previous day, checking in. How is their service? Do they need anything else? How are they feeling? Because on that, if our goal, remember our mission is, we've got these three economic objectives. Whenever we follow up, a lot of the times we're able to get one, the Google review, which is one of our objectives, or two, we're able to go ahead and get them scheduled for their next booking. And so that way, if we wouldn't have followed up, we wouldn't have gotten that. So that's a critical action we have to do every single day. Second critical action is we have to ask every single person as they're checking out if they've heard about our membership programs. So if we want to sell more memberships, we just can't expect people to just find it on their own. We need to have critical actions that we're taking as a team. Every single person on the team does this, to just ask the question, hey, have you heard about our wellness membership plans that we have? We want to ask that. The third one is we ask every single person that comes through the clinic for a Google review as they're checking out. Hey, we hope you had an incredible experience today. We'd love it if you could just take 5 seconds, scan this QR code, and leave us a review on Google. It really helps us to be able to serve more patients just like you. That's all you have to do. A lot of the times, these critical actions are not big things. They're just things that need to be done consistently. And I will tell you this, from experience, if they're not written down and if they're not consistently communicated with your team, they will get missed. It might be something that you guys do for a little bit, but eventually it's going to fall apart because it's not going to become a priority, because you're being reactive, because you don't have a mission, because you've hired the wrong people that don't have the right characteristics, and you're not doing your critical daily action. So for the marketing agency, for example, we have one of the critical actions is they have to fill out their DSU, which is their daily status update, because again, we want clear direct communicators. And so we need to know what's in the pipeline, what people are working on, what they're blocked by. So we have to do that. The second thing is we want to review the pipeline every day for blockers. So in our project management software that we use, whenever you start your shift for the day, you're going to go in the pipeline, you're going to look for blockers or potential blockers, because again, we want to move quick so we can serve people, so we can get them results quicker. So that's what we need to do. And then the third one is we hit all of our deadlines. Whenever you're assigned a task, we have deadlines based upon the type of task that it is for the agency. And we know that if we are always hitting our deadlines, we're removing blockers in the pipeline, and that the teams clearly are communicating to each other what they need and where their blockers and stuff are and what they've worked on that day. Those small little daily habits are what we are going to need to be able to drive the business forward so we can hit our mission. So if you want 2025 to be your best year, you need to create your guiding principles. You need your mission statement. That mission statement should list those 3 economic objectives that you have as the business owner. You need to have the specific deadline of when you want to hit those and why that's important to the team and the bigger picture of life, and why you're doing this thing, why you're called to be a small business owner for this industry, for these customers that you're obsessed with. Second thing is, what type of people do we need? What characteristics do you need to develop in yourself, in your team, or hire to make sure that you're able to hit that mission? And then third, what are the key daily tasks or critical actions that you and your team must take to ensure that you hit that mission and you stay on task for 2025? Do this, guys, and I promise you, if you truly put this into place and you regularly communicate this at least once a week in a weekly staff meeting with your team, and even if you're a solopreneur, you set this up for a recurring meeting for yourself to review this, your business will grow. Now, this is all just a small part of something that Don Miller has actually created that is called Small Business Flight School. And this is something that you guys can actually get and join. It is, there's a link down here at the bottom, but it is Small Business Flight School. So the leadership part of this is your guiding principles. There's 6 different other areas in this that it goes over, anything from teaching you overview of marketing, sales, creating your products that actually convert and are the most profitable for your business, and everything else that you would need in your business to know so that you have a successful business. So if you're interested in checking that out, click the link down here below. It's an incredible program that will help you grow your business. Or if you know what needs to get done, but you need a marketing agency to put those things in place because you want to grow and dominate in 2025, I would love the opportunity to speak with you. Click the link down below and book a call with me. And what we're going to do is we're going to hear a little bit more about what your goals are for your business so we can see if we're the right person for you. We're in the business of helping small local business owners grow their business and dominate their industry. We do that with messaging, websites, sales funnels, automation, and SEO, search engine optimization, content marketing, all those things. And we'd love to serve your business. Put these guiding principles into place in your business so you can make sure 2025 is the best year for your small business.